Back again. Hi guys, my name is Adeyele and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, happy to have you in my little corner of the World Wide Web. Hi! I am the host of I Have the Flow podcast where I talk about my life, motherhood, relationships, friendships, community, self-confidence, all that good stuff through the lens of faith. So I'm just on a journey with Christ and I'm just like, why not share it with everyone else? So today I'm going to be talking about imposter syndrome. Never happened to me before until now, until this journey. Have you ever looked at yourself and thought, who am I to be doing this? What right do I have to speak on these things? Am I really qualified? And to be honest, a few weeks ago was one of those days for me. I sat down just like this to record, and this spirit of imposter syndrome just came knocking very loudly. I don't know why it was just that particular day, but it just happened. And then I started getting thoughts of like, how old are you really? What wisdom do you have? How many years have you spent on this earth to even have the right, the audacity to start talking to people about faith, about your walk with Christ? Really? Who gave you this mic? Are you a pastor? Are you a prophet? Are you an apostle? Are you an evangelist? Who are you? And okay, let's be real. For people who know me personally, leave them on the side. But I am that girl who was or is probably still broken, maybe a little bit insecure. I was vain, proud. I mean, to be very honest, the list goes on. The mistakes that I have made in the past. And I find myself wondering, who is Yele to come out here and be telling anybody anything? And I know that some people still look at me in that way. What's she saying? Don't forget that we know you. We know you. We know what you've been up to. We know what you were like, right? Unfortunately, some people are still going to be stuck with the old version of you, and that's fine. It will take them time to kind of get with the program. What wisdom could I have accumulated in my 30 plus years that I have spent on the earth? And based on the character of Yele's previous ways in the world, who is she to be telling me all these things? That's the question. I'm not kidding. I sat down, ready, set up. You know how podcasting is. You set up, you have your lighting, you have your mic, you've got everything set up. And then all of a sudden, it was like a wave. It just came, and I was like, and I stopped. I couldn't record that day. That's how bad I felt. That's how bad it was. But then I spoke to God about this. I was literally in the moment. And I think He must have done that on purpose, probably as a message for myself and for somebody here who might be listening. I'm not the first person to feel this way. And I'm not going to be the last. This is not a new message. This is not like a profound message from heaven. I just think this is a reminder for me and for some of us, right? There are a few names that I can mention in the Bible. Let's talk about Moses. Moses literally said to God, yeah, you're God. No problem. We've seen the burning bush. We part the Red Sea. You can't use me. I can't speak well. So use somebody else. Jonah. In fact, there was a recent video in the news about real life story about this guy, and I think his grandfather or his dad swimming in the ocean. My guy gets swallowed by a fish, and everyone's out here calling him Jonah. But the Jonah in the Bible ran away from God, literally ran away from what God asked him to do. Maybe he didn't feel qualified or he was just being stubborn. I don't know. Saul, who became Paul, one of the most, if not the most influential apostles that we have in the Bible, right? And my guy was killing everybody and their grandmother. Everybody. Let's not talk about Peter. Peter is that guy. He's one of those guys where he's like your friend. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. And then when trouble comes, pew, ghost. Bye-bye. And he denied Jesus 3 times. I just wanted to say we're in good company, guys. For those of us who have imposter syndrome, we are in great company. None of these people had a spotless resume. None of them were, they were not pastors. They were not ministers. They didn't have an official title. They didn't have an official office. And I don't have nothing. I'm nothing. I'm just a good old daughter of God trying to live out my purpose and journey this life with Him. That's all I'm trying to do. And that's where God meets me in my everyday experiences. Because He knows that, okay, Yele is going to have an experience about imposter syndrome as to why she thinks she's qualified to speak. Then there's somebody out there, one of you guys who might be listening to this thinking, what right do I have to be motivating people about self-confidence? I don't necessarily feel self-confident. What right do I have to teach people about whatever it is that you are actually good at? What right do you have? Because you've not spent 30 years doing it, because you've not spent, thousands of pounds getting a degree on. No, you don't need to. You don't need to. The truth is, all I have is an ordinary, a very sometimes, you guys don't want to see this wrong, messy life, everyday life. And like I said, that's where God meets me. Because it has never been about the title. It's about the call. God is calling all of us. It's not just me. I've just had a bit of an experience and encounters with Him that I can no longer deny. It's never been about the title. It's the call. And here's the thing, right? So God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. This is a popular statement that most of us have heard. And it's only now that I'm living through certain experiences that it's making sense to me. God chooses ordinary, flawed, and seemingly unqualified people, and then He equips us for His purpose. So I have just been sent here now to share this with you. It's for a reason. And if you are sitting there questioning yourself, wondering if you are worthy of stepping into what is in front of you, then you are in very good company. You are. You are in the company of people who doubted Moses. They struggled. Elijah. They ran away. Jonah. They lied. They even killed Paul. But God still used them powerfully. I have made big mistakes. Huge. Trust me. And God is still going to use me powerfully. I'm not a minister. I'm not a pastor. I am just a child of God. Simple. You don't have to have a title. Just figure out your purpose. Figure it out. Speak to Him one-on-one. What do you want me to do? If you want me to go work in a Fortune 500 company and live out the fruits of the Spirit, in that way, being the Bible that people are literally seeing walking around, she's so nice. She's so kind. She just has such good discipline. She always approaches me with such a warm spirit. That is you living out your purpose in such a volatile environment. So you can be used in any way. If you're an artist, go and paint. Get that divine download from God and just paint. Somebody somewhere will come across your painting one day, and the Spirit of God that was used to impart that, the Spirit that He passed through you into that painting, it will pass to that person. God just wants to use all of us. He just wants to use us. That's it. So today I am literally just owning this journey. I am choosing to push past the imposter syndrome. I'm choosing it to keep moving forward. And the only thing that I require of you, you don't know me from Adam, you don't know me from anywhere. And you don't have to listen to me. I'm just doing what I'm doing, right? But all I require of you is to push past that imposter syndrome and keep moving forward. Whether you're a creative, whether you're a leader, a parent, a student, if God has already called you into a particular ministry, then you're already qualified. And when I say qualified, I mean PhD qualified. I'm talking emeritus type qualified. And guess what? Just because I'm saying this right now doesn't mean that tomorrow that spirit of imposter syndrome will not come knocking again. But guess what? Because you know who you are, you know what you've been asked to do. It doesn't have to stay. You have the power of the tongue. Phew, out of here. I know what I've been called to do. I know the mission that I've been sent to do. So bye-bye, out. You've been served your notice. Here's the door. Bye, go. And you continue. Another thing I'll say is make sure that your community, your friends, your family, if you're married, your spouse, your children, make sure they are supporting you. Make sure that they are on board with what you are doing. But most especially, make sure that you are keeping the pulse with God on a regular basis, getting that download from Him. So that imposter syndrome feeling, it will begin to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Because you know that you are surrendering to Him, you're depending on Him for everything that you are doing. So I personally don't just come up here and start talking. I just don't do that, right? It's real life experiences like this. And then I just say, God, what are you trying to get out of this? Maybe there's somebody out there as well who is feeling like this. So this might not be a new message for you. No, it is probably just a reminder. You are not alone. You are in good company, but you can push past it because you're qualified. Okay? So, if this has taken root in your heart, just, if you need to come back and listen to this over again and again and again, feel free to do that. Feel free to do that. Okay? We are here to serve you. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, I do have my podcast episode, so feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment, do whatever you do. It's not by force. I'm not having you in a chokehold. It's not that deep. But yes, thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to be coming, like, at least hopefully regularly to do this more often with you guys, just chatting away and all of that. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. And as always, God has the floor, not me. I don't have the floor. God does. All right, guys. See you soon. Bye.